Moderator, please welcome Dr. Pankaj Kumar, National Project Coordinator, Unido. Requesting our panelists to please come on stage, Dr. Tapan K. Raut, Director Textile Committee, Ministry of Textile, to join us. Ms. Tanvi Thukral, Private Sector Specialist, World Bank Group, to join us. Mr. Naveen Senani, General Secretary, CMAI, to join us. Mr. Somatish Banerjee, Partner at Intel Cap, to join us. Mr. Saket Kulkarni, Senior Regional Manager, South Asia, ZDHC Foundation, to join us. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Pankaj Kumar.
Thank you. A very warm welcome to our distinguished speakers, participants, and partners. I understand it is very difficult to look for the post-lunch, but I am very happy to see all the participants here. So I will try to maintain the flow and look for some best questions and answers and some suggestions, which is very, very useful for the audience point of view or the industry's point of view. As I concerns, of course, that is a very, very important to look for the UN support for the programs and the cluster approach. That is a very important. And you understand all the things, how UN will support to the textile sectors as concern from the UNICEF, UNDP, UNEP, UN Women, and even in the Unido. So these visions are very, very clear to look how we will try to think about to support to the textile. If we are talking for the textiles, we have a number of components which we need to think about to highlight and more focus on the sectors like we'll try to think about the circular business models also, even in the innovative materials. We are talking for the cleaner production because in the previous panel, they are trying to think about more discussion on the energy point of view or sustainability point of view. There is a most important component is the cleaner production. So we need to think about how we will try to cover the points. Sustainable consumptions, post-use 9R, these are the things which we need to cover. And textile is the only sectors which we need to think about the energy, environment, UN empowerment, and land improvement. So that is the idea which we will try to think about how UN will support to the cluster approach, and that is very important. So as concerned to the today's sessions is very, very important. And we have distinguished speakers which is coming from the government sides, multilateral organizations, and even in the export and the associations. So definitely it will be useful for the sessions which we need to think about or discuss on the policy point of view, the scale-up point of view, cluster approach, and some successful case study. So in that way, we have speakers like Dr. Tapan Kumar Raut. Sir is from the Director, Ministry of Textile Committee in Government of India. And as I understand, he involved in number of activities, but specialization is involving the policy point of view, international trades. I think it is right, sir. International trade. And they have a much more focus in the way of circular business models also. They are working with some international agencies also. And important thing is, as a resource persons, in one of the very unique project, textile recovery facility. They involve as a resource persons in the Navi Mumbai, they implemented. So I'm just thinking about how we will try to address all the questions which we need to ask. Of course, we have a panelist from the World Bank, Tanvi. She is a private sector specialist, World Bank, working at the intersections of the policy, market, job, private sector development. She focused on mobilizing capital improvement access to finance with expertise in MSME sector. That is very, very important for the MSME point of view. Value chain transformation and sustainable industry development. Of course, definitely, she will try to more focus on the financial point and like in a blended finance models also. We'll try to highlight all the things. We have a panelist, Naveen Bhai. I think there is no need to introductions because he is persons which they already involved in various sectors. Of course, they are very closely working with the government point of view or even in the UN agencies, and they are always think the vision is very clear to look how they are trying to support as in a textile and an apparel sectors, especially for the manufacturer sides, branded sides, fashion sides, and some others also. We have a panelist from the Pravinder Bhai. I think Pravinder Bhai, there is no need to introductions. Everybody knows He is one of the key resource persons, not for India, even in the worldwide. They are always talking for what, if we are talking for the recycling, everybody is talking for the Parvinder. Where is the Parvinder? So I think Parvinder is the right time. And he involved, every panel, they are always thinking about how Parvinder will come like that. So I'm very happy to see Parvinder is here. We have in a panel from the IntelliCap. I think IntelliCap is also very, very important to implement the projects for the textile sector. So Sumitesh Banerjee is also with us, and they will try to think about to cover the most important part. JDSA, because if you are talking for the chemicals, that is the major concerns for the textiles. Of course, the chemicals means hazardous chemicals. I'm talking for the hazardous. So I'm just thinking about how ZDSC to address some questions which is linked up with the textile, and that is very, very important for the project's point of view. Of course, Unido is handled one of the activities which we need to think about the eliminating hazardous chemicals. So in that way, there is some introductions of the panelists. They are expert in the different way, and we'll try to think about to cover all the points, how we will try to think like that. So first, I'm just thinking about the Tapan sir, because he involved so many things. So my first questions related to your textile committee in strengthening Indian textile. So you can just suggest me the key priority, how we will try to think about strengthening Indian textile ecosystem, sir. So you just try to think and elaborate like that.
Thank you, Pankaj ji. Good afternoon to all. You know that the Textiles Committee is the quality arm of Ministry of Textiles. Mandated to, in fact, work on the issues relating to quality and develop a compliance architecture or ecosystem for the textile value chain as well. So Textiles Committee has been working on the entire value chains or entire fibers on entire gamut of the issues which are in fact affecting the textile and apparel industries as a whole. And being a developmental agencies, we are in the areas of export promotions, we are in the areas of certifications, we are in the areas of testing and conformity assessments, development of standards, and quality controls issues relating to NTBs, all these things. So effectively, Textile Committee has been working for the development of the sector and providing handholding sector support to the textile MSMEs. Particularly, as you know that MSME contributes about 95% of the total productions in the sectors. So therefore, our focus is more on the development of MSME sectors, MSMEs, and including handlooms and handicrafts, of course. So during the last 5 years, I can say that we are, in fact, started initiatives in the new emerging areas. One of the emerging areas is sustainability and circularities, where we are trying to, in fact, support the industries to adopt sustainability approaches in the process of manufacturing, and of course, in addressing the issues of pre and post consumer textiles. And you would be happy to know that a Textile Committee has come out with a upcycling mark, and in collaboration with GEM and other government organizations, where we are also trying to support and promote the upcycled products across the country, so that the issues relating sustainability can be addressed in a more holistic way. So you can say that being the quality arm of the Ministry of Textiles, we are there in research, we are there in implementing innovative approach, we are there in export promotions, and we are there across the value chains to support the textile industries.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Because as concerned to the textile committee, they involve in a number of activities, standard certifications. But as in a resource persons, you involve in one of the very prestigious project which we need to think about. Because as you know, the audience point of view, the TRF is one of the major challenge which we need to try to address. But how you can try to think about to look for some challenge and solution, especially for either the government or some UN agency or bilateral, multilateral agencies to come forward to support. In that way, you can just try to address some operationalization and challenging point.
Sure. In fact, prior to speaking, I would like to, in fact, show a very brief video clip to all of you about the TRF that we have developed on a pilot basis. Can I request to please
मी नवी मुंबई सांडपाड्यामध्ये राहते. माझं ग्रॅज्युएशन पूर्ण झालं, पण घरातल्या जबाबदारीमुळे मला बाहेर पडता नाही आलं. पण आता मला हे कळालं 4 महिन्यापूर्वी की ते सोलापूर बचत गटाच्या माध्यमातून मला रोजगार देण्यात येतो. बचत गटाच्या माध्यमातून मी इथे आले. जुन्या कपड्यापासून इथं बऱ्याच गोष्टी बनवल्या जातात हे कळालं. शिवाय इथं नेतर मॅडमने यांनी आमचं वर्कशॉप घेतलं 4 दिवसाचं, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आम्हाला टीविक्स वगैरे हे सगळे बनवायला शिकवले. सुरुवातीला पहिल्यांदा विविंग शिकवली, त्यानंतर आम्ही टीविक्स आणि पोस्टर्स असे बनवायला शिकलो. मी घरातल्या फायनान्शियली पण फार सपोर्ट करू शकले मिस्टरांना ॲक्च्युली, आणि शिवाय मुलांना चांगले संस्काराबरोबर त्यांचं शिक्षण अजून कसं उत्तम व्हावं याच्यामध्ये पण माझा हातभार देऊ शकते. सध्या मी देते. या गोष्टीचा मला फार आनंद होतो. आणि शिवाय तिथे मला काम करताना फार आनंद वाटतो की काहीतरी मी पर्यावरणाला हानी पोचवण्यापासून वाचू शकले. मी मनापासून आभार मानते नवी मुंबई महानगरपालिका CRF सेंटर की बचत गटाच्या माध्यमातून खूप महिलांना इथे रोजगार मिळाला.
It's a big challenge. Yeah, I am very thankful to sir, and you deserve as a big clap from the audience point of view.
Sorry
Thank you
for
so
a
much, sir.
disturbance
Thank you,
in on the dais. In fact, this is an innovative project, and I will request all of you to please do visit the TRF. And there are many fasts associated with this project. This is a pilot project, of course, we are implementing. And the idea is that when we thought of textile waste, as you know, that 95% of the waste generated in the country are post-consumer textiles. And all these textiles are going to landfills or water bodies, and leading to water pollution, leading to pollutions, and also creating a lot of hazards for all of us. So in order to address this issue, we thought that why not we develop a circular value chain in place of a linear value chain that most of the industries are adopting nowadays, to address this issue so that the products, one used, that can come back to the mainstream value chains, and that could be integrated to the mainstream value chain, and will save our ecology. At the same time, will also generate some resources for the value chain as well, for the stakeholders as well. At the same time, another objective of this project was livelihood creations, and in the process, we thought that we can create some livelihood with focus on women, so that the issue of women empowerment can also be addressed under this project. So we did a study in the Navi Mumbai. We saw that there are about 17 lakhs population staying in that area, and they are in fact generating a huge quantity of post-consumer waste, which is in fact polluting that mangrove and the water bodies. So keeping these aspects in mind, we started this project in a collaborative way, where you know that we are saying that it is a PPP plus model, one step beyond that PPP models, where the civil society organizations, the urban local bodies are collaborating with the central government and state government to develop this model. And everybody is contributing. And of course, one international organization called IDS is also a part of this project in the process of implementations. So, friends, as of now, I will tell you that what are the success. This is the first time that we are implementing a PPP plus model. Second thing is that we have developed a technology for segregations in collaboration with a startup based in Bangalore, which is in fact segregating these products on the basis of fiber. And I can assure you that that segregation is, and the success rate of that segregation technology is more than 90%. Of course, 85 to 90% as of now. That is also first of its kind, because earlier we are depending on the other countries for that technology. And third thing is that you would be happy to know that 80 self-help groups are working with this project for livelihood creation. In addition to that, we have generated, this project has generated 85 to 90 employment opportunities for the women, those who are working there. And one important thing is that this project has also created more than 400 upcycled products. And initially, we are worried that whether these products will be marketed or people will buy it or not. But now we would be happy to know that people are crazy to buy it. And we are getting a very good response. So at the same time, as of now, we have reached out more than 5 lakhs populations of Navi Mumbai. Our target is that next year we will, in fact, trying to reach out 17 lakhs populations of this on the entire Navi Mumbai area, so that will strengthen the community participation under these projects. And everybody will contribute, and everybody will take benefit out of this project implementations. So this is first of its kind in India, where we are talking about PPP plus models, we are talking about community participations, we are talking about livelihood generations, we are talking about women empowerments, and so therefore this is an innovative project, and I think in future, this project, of course, will help us in developing and creating a circular value chain in place of linear value chains, where our industry will also participate. And one important thing I would like to say, that 2 industry partners are also supporting us. One is Grasim Industries, another is Reliance. And Grasim Industry has developed some product out of that, the post-consumer textiles. And these products are there in the, I think in the stall number 1. So I would request you to please see those products. It may be difficult for us to distinguish those products from that of products developed from the virgin fibers. So this project has brought about a lot of changes. As of now, we have in fact received requests from 10 municipal corporations and 5 state governments for implementation of these projects on their states. Coming to challenges, I think few challenges are there. One important challenge is that awareness among the consumers. They don't know. Generally, when we go to, when we in fact try to make them understand the importance of this project, then sometimes we saw that they are not aware about the sustainability, about the circularities, how it is affecting ecosystems. So this is a very big challenge for all of us. Second thing is technological better links. You know that technology is available for cotton. Technology is also available in some extent for pure polyesters. But when it comes to blend, the technology is not available as of now. We are struggling a little bit, but we are trying to address all these issues. So technological bottleneck is another aspect. And third important thing is industry participations. Even if two industries are supporting us, so since we are trying to develop a recycling hub in Koperkharena, Navi Mumbai, so we saw that, in fact, I am talking to many industries and I requesting them that please do come forward, be a part of this recycling hub where we'll try to develop a matured system or we'll take it to the new height where we will in position to showcase it to the world. So I think most of the times industry may be little hesitant to come. I am sure that commercial aspect is an important thing in the process of implementation or being a part of this project. But I think that is also another challenge in the process of implementation of these projects. But in spite of these things, we are going ahead, and that is a great success. And I think the organizations like Unido, World Bank, in fact, I'm requesting them to please do visit TRF, and they can help us, in fact, to in fact carry forward this project to a new height. I am just, for example, Unido is working across the globe. So they can also help us, in fact, to find out the technology and adoption of technologies and develop a best management practice in this process. Similarly, we know that on the financial aspects, or maybe, in fact, on the traceability aspects, what we are talking about, the World Bank can also support, and other industries or stakeholders can also support. So we are looking forward towards all organizations and towards the industry, in fact, to carry forward these initiatives to a new height, and hopefully, and to implement it across the India. And if required, or if needed, then across the globe, so that this could be a role model of India to the world.
Definitely,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much.
Definitely, sir. TRF model will definitely look for the India point of view. The vision is very clear because, as you know, the project will generate the employment, and that is the objectives. So definitely, we will try to think about, and Unido is also thinking about how we will try to support as an TRF as concerned to the technical and financially. We'll definitely consider under the one UN support. Thank you, sir. So, Tanmit, I think you, as in a World Bank, if you are talking for the World Bank, everybody is talking for the finance point of view. But you involve in so many things as in a policy, or maybe there's some financial and job creations like that. Because as concerned to the financial institution or the blended finance, everybody is talking for the blended finance. Now, right now, it is the right times to think about it as such a good model. So can you just think about innovative financing model, or maybe the blended financing model can unlock cluster level investment sustainability, especially for the small enterprises? If you are talking for the MSME, how we will try to address the financials point of view, please.
Thank you for that question, Pankaj. I think we all are clear on the fact that there is intent. I think I've been hearing from other panelists also that there is intent. And I think Parvinder mentioned in the last panel that there is a CAPEX mindset issue. I think for MSMEs, CAPEX is not only a mindset issue, but actually a real challenge, because to invest in sustainability infrastructure, it is huge upfront cost, right? And it's not only the mindset, it's also lack of finance, right? So MSMEs do not have access to concessional financing to invest in these, and also if they manage that, they do not have visibility on the ROIs, right? They do not see that they add value to what they are investing into. So, and that is why we come into picture. We have been, like World Bank Group has been working globally across sectors, designing various innovative, not just financing schemes, but models where smaller players can come together at a cluster level, at an industry level, and invest in shared infrastructure. I think we all understand viability gap funding, PPP models are the way to go, and obviously blended finance and concessional financing is also one of the ways to go. But maybe I'll very quickly talk about two innovative models in the sector. One where World Bank Group has been working in Bangladesh. It is called Partnership for Cleaner Textiles, where we facilitate and mobilize concessional financing, not just through banks, but also through brands. So we have various brands onboarded in the program who actually go and invest in the factory upgradations and set up these shared infrastructure. And they also sign up some take-off agreements with these factories so that there's a surety that there will be demand for what they will be producing after they have invested money, right? So the part money do come from the smaller players, but some money comes from the financing through the green lines that bank offers. Some money is put in by these brands. So this is one way, a collaborative way to go. And now when we talk about the cluster level approach, I think I'll just share one example from Barcelona. I visited one of the wastewater treatment plant in Igualada, and it is a 100% private-owned wastewater treatment plant, which required huge capex. And all the tanneries, it's a leather cluster, all the tanneries came together. They approached the government that we are ready to put in the money because we need to have this wastewater treatment plant. We need certain support from you. Land was one thing because land is a major cost. The government provided them with the land, and all the tanneries came together, put in the money to set up that particular wastewater treatment plant. It's a private operating wastewater treatment plant, which is run by a special purpose vehicle. They charge a fee from all the tanneries who are using it. It's a fee-based model. There are research institutes who track the polluted water that's coming from each of the tanneries. Based on the quality, the fee varies, right? So you are paying for what you are contributing to and not, so there's, it's not that my water was not that polluted, his water was more polluted. So the samples are tested and the fee is charged accordingly. So just 2 points, just to conclude, that, one, of course, government can play a major role. Development institutes can come on board, provide with concessional financing, with innovative blended financing, convene through bringing brands on board. But at cluster level, I think the industry needs to come together and reach out that, we are willing to invest in shared infrastructure partly. And this is the part support that we would need from the government. And I think government would be more than willing to provide that part benefit. Thank you.
Yeah, Tanvit, absolutely true. Because as you know, we have some successful case study in internationally. But if we'll try to, I'm just adding the one successful case study in India also. Like an example of Ranipet in leather industry, the Unido supported one of the project which they are talking for the water treatment, common effluent treatment plant. Energy crisis is the major challenge, and everybody is talking for the energy point of view. You just try to visit to the plant, Ranipet, they're generating steam using the solar. And 1.5 ton steam per hour generate. The size of the system is very close to the 17,000 square meters, 1700 square meters. So they generate 1.5 ton steam using solar. So this is the example without using energy, either the coal or wood or something, whatever. So that is the example of the India point of view. But the major challenge is the disposable. The leather, the salt is the major challenge. And still we are working, and of course CITRA is working in the way of discharging, how we will try to resolve the issue. Same project will replicate in Tirupur also. We are talking for the CETP plant, they consume 30 metric ton wood. But right now, they are thinking about to look for some innovative technology because Tirupur and Ranipet is very close. That is one of the successful case study which we'll highlight here. Definitely, it is very useful to look for the financial model as in a PPP model, or the government side supported, or the state side supported, or maybe some international body will try to support to look for the PPP modes. I come to the IntelliCap because, as you know, you have much more experience and finance part is already covered. So I'm just requesting, can you just give you, because you have an experience to handle all the textile sectors, especially for the MSME or the large scales. Can you share some innovative idea or some successful case study so that the industries will understand some case so that will replicate fast for the India point of view?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the question. So I think from a point of view of cluster decarbonization, what IntelliCap has been, so IntelliCap is working through its own initiative called Circular Apparel Innovation Factory. In short, it's called CAIF. Now, one of the core pillars out of the three are decarbonization of the industry. And second one is about zero waste to landfill, which sir, you were talking about. I can also talk a little bit about TRF model that we've been kind of doing. And the third is about just transition. Now, all these pillars are interconnected. In the decarbonization space, what we have been doing over the last 1 year actually is with the support from programs or funders like funding programs like EU Switch Asia, as well as Laudes Foundation and Doon Foundation, we are taking a cluster lens, as ma'am was talking about it, that SMEs are facing certain challenges, in terms of their ability to, really kind of meet the different requirements that are coming out of the legislative changes globally. Take a CBAM or SERD, and then also as a part of, while they understand that they need solutions, but also many of the solutions that are available are not designed for SME, adoption. Third part of it is that SMEs do not have sustainability departments, so they're very much influenced by peers as well as energy auditors to suggest what they should do, without even properly asking questions around whether there's a business case for adoption and how important it is going to be for my case. So what we have structured a program which kind of deals with three components. One is around really building the capacity of SMEs in the cluster. So we're working in Perundarai cluster, we're working in Surat, and similar few other clusters we are expanding into. But every cluster is again different. But in terms of some of the things that we are trying to integrate into this program is on capacity building, on the point of, through training on GHG inventorization, on Higgs, on, how to kind of, understand at a unit level as well as a cluster level. With the help of cluster associations also, we are working very closely. So there's a lot of capacity building that is happening, which is making them more aware of what, how they should choose their courses of action. Second point that we are integrating is about, providing access to solutions. So we have created over the last 6 years of this program, CAIF, as an initiative, we've curated a lot of solutions on the, energy efficiency front, energy storage in terms of alternate materials, as well as water efficiency. So, but not all, again, as I said, not all technologies are ready to be adopted, but the technology solution providers are also increasingly looking at how they can modularize for unit level adoption, but also at a shared infrastructure level, as ma'am was saying. So really kind of working with the units and the cluster to identify which are the best suited solutions from a short-term, low-hanging fruit, medium-term, and long-term adoption point of view. And the third point is, as we were discussing about finance, we are also collaborating with banks and also NBFCs on one end to kind of show them that there are use cases which, which they should consider from an investing point of view. But then again, there has to be some amount of patient capital which kind of enables the SMEs to take that plunge or adopt. There is a lot of brand support and incentivization that is also required. So therefore, we are also getting brands to participate in this program. So yeah, those are the three categories we are trying to kind of stitch together, but with the particular clusters specific requirements in mind. As you know, Perundarai and then Tirupur and Surat are very different in terms of what they produce, the markets they, cater to. So I think that's something that we are looking at. And the other example that I want to tie in here is that from 2021-22, with the support from IKEA Foundation, H&M Foundation, and Al Walid Philanthropies, we've been actually trying to address this particular problem of post-consumer textile waste. So, we started, in Bangalore at a very pilot level at the DWC, Dry Waste Collection Center level. But since then, we've been able to actually create a completely circular textile waste management model, which has codified how to collect post-consumer waste, how to segregate, sort, and then, but then...
Yeah, absolutely true, Samatish, because as you know, the cluster approach is very, very important. Whatever the difference between the Tirupur and the Surat, we'll try to think of. That is the way the objective of the session is cluster coordinations. We need to think about the knowledge transfer, knowledge sharing is also important, but not for the hypothetical, even in the ground level. So of course, that is the major things about the concerns we'll consider in our one UN support also. So come to the ZDSE. Because I will come to you because I need more detailed discussion on the cluster approach. But as textile point of view, chemical is the major challenge, right? So if we are talking for the energy we have in the solutions, like in the TRF, which they are trying to focus more on the employment generations also. But the chemicals, as an energy, the hazardous chemicals, how the ZDSC will try to target, to address some supplier or manufacturer, especially for the challenge point of view for the industries. So the chemical is the major challenge. Can you just give me some experience for the Indian contents?
Okay. So basically, as we all know that during our wet processing, during dyeing, pre-treatment, finishing, printing, we are using so many different chemicals. There are so many, even in the garment washing as well. And many times what happens, many of those chemicals are harmful in nature. And if we see from the chemical substance or chemical group wise, there are band amines are there from different reactive dyes or azo dyes. Then phthalates are there. If whatever prints we are doing, phthalates being used as a plasticizers. Or PFAS is a very big issue globally. So these are basically used for the water or oil repellency. So in ZDHC, what we have done, we are developing a guideline called as a ZDHC MRSL, Manufacturing Restricted Substances List. It is since in 2014, first time we developed that guideline. And it is basically a group of harmful chemical substances. So there are more than 325 chemicals are listed there. From textile manufacturing point of view, see, the textile manufacturers are not the experts of the chemicals. They don't know the chemistry. The chemical manufacturers, they know the chemistry, they are developing the products, they are doing the formulations. So that is why it is their responsibility. Whatever they are selling, the product should not contain any harmful chemical substances. So what we did, our approach is to control at the input management or input chemical management, what we can see. For the textile manufacturers, they should purchase the chemicals which are free from harmful chemical substances. And the entire philosophy, if they have clean input, they will get clean output. Output in terms of the product, in terms of the effluent, in terms of the sludge, and in terms of the air emission. And we have a platform called as a gateway, ZDHC Gateway. And Pankajji, you will surprised to know that in Gateway, there are more than 170,000 chemicals are published. If I speak from Indian perspective only, more than 400 chemical manufacturers are registered, dyes and chemical manufacturers. And these are not only the MNCs, even the small and medium manufacturers, they are also registered with their products. And there are more than, I think, 30 or 35,000 chemical products are registered only from India. The first number is China, the second number is India. So for our manufacturers, whatever functionality product they want, any functionality, whatever they are manufacturing, they will find the safer alternatives. So this is the entire database and having it free of cost. Only they need to register and get the entire database.
Absolutely true, because as you know, the chemical challenge, and JEF is the funded agencies, which we are very closely working with the Unido in the 8 clusters, and we need to think about how to eliminate the chemicals. Of course, that is the challenge, but definitely it is very useful for the entire country, worldwide also, to reduce the chemicals, which is very harmful for, not for the human, even in the water concerns point of view. Parvinder bhai, क्वेश्चन पूछने की तो जरूरत है नहीं पूछना है थोड़ा मुझे बताओ प्रवींदर, पानीपत, everybody is talking for the Panipat. Of course, this is the one of the symbol. Of course, we have an example of Tirupur for the technology point of view. We have some innovative idea for the Surat. But Panipat, we will try to think about what is the thing for the recycling hub. Because as you know, we will try to think about the cluster approach. That is the idea which we need to discuss for the Panipat point of view. And you have a good discussion with all the entire UN agencies. Definitely in the third week, we'll try to look for the cluster exchange mechanisms, events point of view. So can you just share some idea of recycling hub? And what is the objective and challenge for the other clusters also?
Pankaj ji, when we see our industry's mindset, so how do we operate? हम क्या सोचते हैं कि हमारे पास रिसोर्स तो बहुत हैं और हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ बहुत कम हैं. मैं इसे उल्टा देखता हूँ. हमारे पास रिसोर्स बहुत कम है, अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है. ये हमारी जो MSME का जो माइंडसेट है ना, वी डोंट स्पीक. जब हम 4 बिजनेसमैन इकट्ठे होते हैं ना, बिजनेस छोड़ के बाकी सारी बातें करेंगे क्लस्टर्स में. Why? Because everyone is producing similar products, similar buyers, similar suppliers. अब एज एन अवेयरनेस लेवल इंडस्ट्री में तो इतनी कंज्यूमर अवेयरनेस इज एट वेरी नेसेंट स्टेज, बट एज एन इंडस्ट्री एक इंटेंट है कि हमें बदलना है, हमें अपग्रेड करना है. उन्हें एक वैल्यू अनलॉकिंग होती भी दिख रही है कि यार दुनिया हमसे ये आके प्रोडक्ट मांग रही है और हमें ये बनाने पड़ेंगे. अब अगर हम पानीपत का एग्जांपल दें तो पानीपत तो रिसाइकलिंग 30, 40, 50 साल से कर रहा है, ऑलमोस्ट उतनी ही कैपेसिटीज से कर रहा है. पिछले 2 साल में क्या बदला है? ठीक है, तो वी हैव टेकन एन अप्रोच, टेकिंग दैट कलेक्टिव अप्रोच कि इकट्ठे होके हाउ यू कैन प्रोजेक्ट योरसेल्फ. आज अगर 10 रिपोर्ट छप चुकी हैं कि ये हमारा पोस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल टेक्सटाइल वेस्ट का रिकवरी रेट है, जो अभी 15 दिन पहले मैंने, ये पहले से ही हो रहा था, ओनली दैट वी लैक डेटा. हमारी जो रिसाइकलिंग कैपेसिटी है वो उतनी ही थी, हमें पता नहीं था. सो व्हेन दीज नंबर्स केम इनटू पब्लिक डोमेन, ब्रांड्स आपको दूसरी नज़र से देखना शुरू करते हैं. बिकॉज फ्रॉम यूरोपियन ब्रांड्स, सर्कुलरिटी इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द यूरोप. ठीक है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली, बिकॉज दैट ऑल्सो फ्रॉम द रेगुलेटरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. कंज्यूमर अवेयरनेस वहाँ भी हमसे थोड़ा बहुत बेहतर होगा, उतना फ़र्क नहीं है. तो व्हेन वो बैठ के वहाँ पे ब्रांड वाले क्या सोचते थे कि यार, क्योंकि हमें आदत है कि समथिंग विल कम फ्रॉम फॉरेन एंड वी विल अडॉप्ट इट. और वो आज भी उसी माइंडसेट से ऑपरेट करते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी तो हम बनाएंगे, ठीक है, और फिर कोई उसको रेप्लिकेट करेगा. पहली बार टेक्सटाइल रिसाइकलिंग ऐसी है जिसको या तो हिंदुस्तान लीड करेगा या कोई नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि हम 50 साल से वो पूरा का पूरा इकोसिस्टम बनाए बैठे हैं. अब वो जो ब्रांड हैं यूरोप में जो बैठे हैं, वो क्या सोचते हैं कि हम ये करेंगे, ये करेंगे. व्हेन दे केम टू नो कि यार इस लेवल पे, इतने वॉल्यूम पे तो रिसाइकलिंग हो ही रही है, देन द नैरेटिव गेट शिफ्टेड कि अब हमें ज़मीन पे वो स्क्रैच से कुछ नहीं करना है. इट इज़ ऑलरेडी देयर, वी जस्ट हैव टू फाइंड वेज टू इंटीग्रेट इनटू आवर कंप्लायंस थिंग. तो टेक्निकली तो वो काम हो चुका है. अब वही चीज़, द सेम व्हाट वी हैव ट्राइड टू अचीव हियर और शोकेस हियर इन दिस वेरी हॉल. हमने क्या करा है, हमारी बेस्ट ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस शोकेस कर दी. हमने अपना प्रोडक्ट रेप्लिकेशन शोकेस कर दिया कि यार निट्स पे ये पॉसिबल है, डेनिम पे ये पॉसिबल है, वुवन पे ये पॉसिबल है.
चश्मा से दिख नहीं रहा है.
हाँ, ठीक है. तो उसके बाद क्या, कौन कौन लीडर्स हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, इन टर्म्स ऑफ फाइबर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ फैब्रिक, उनको आप साथ में लेके आओ, लोगों को दिखाओ. इट विल गिव देम इंस्पिरेशन, इट विल वैलिडेट द कंसेप्ट. आप उसकी ट्रेसेबिलिटी दिखाओ. ठीक, उसके बाद आती है एज तन्मीत वन मेंशनिंग के व्हाट वी लैक. अगर वो बार्सिलोना में हो सकता है तो हमारे यहाँ क्यों नहीं हो सकता? क्योंकि हम इकट्ठे खड़े होकर तो बात ही नहीं करते ना. 10 इंडस्ट्री वाले इकट्ठे होके, अब यू ऑल आर अवेयर अबाउट गैट्स, इट्स ए 2.5 years old ठीक है, हम उस सेक्टर से भी नहीं आते, वी आर जस्ट प्योर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, ठीक है, वी आर नॉट पॉलिसी मेकर्स, वी डोंट नो दैट लैंग्वेज, वी डोंट नो हाउ दिस ये सोशल डेवलपमेंटल फ्रेमवर्क वर्क्स, लेकिन पिछले 2-2.5 साल में जो गैट्स ने अचीव करा, वी आर वेरी प्राउड ऑफ इट. तो
मैं ये समझता हूँ प्रविंदर, बिकॉज एज यू नो व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग फॉर द पानीपत, तिरुपुर, सूरत, बिकॉज वी हैव इन अ नंबर ऑफ क्लस्टर्स and we need to focus more on the same platform, and that is the way which we need to think that CMI is the platform right now, is the platform as in a knowledge sharing. Because we are unable to see all the successful cases studied in one particular site or one platform. So my concern is where we can try to think about to share the knowledge, not for the national point of view, global, because we are talking for Bangladesh, we are talking for the China, we are talking for the Morocco, and they have a switch to circular economy. But India, like an example, हम लोग rural में जानते थे कि पहले लोग कपड़े पहनते थे, पोंछते भी थे उसको. That is a part of circularity. Now we are talking for the industries. The industries, the technology and advancement is going up to date like that. So the European country, they are focusing more on the circularity. And that is the way the Tirupur, Surat, Panipat is the example. We need to focus more on the way of circularity in concern of water also. Because the water is a major challenge. And how to look for the condensate heat recovery or the water recycle. That is also, we need to focus more on the way of cluster approach. Thank you, Pravinder. Yeah.
आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूंगा. You remember that we did a CMI event in Surat. And at that time, I spoke about the opportunities which Surat can adopt to. कल से मेरे पास 10 लोग आ चुके हैं. हमने सूरत में आपकी बात सुनी थी. एंड अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें तो हम सूरत को सस्टेनेबिलिटी सर्कुलरिटी के मामले में वो सबसे इमेच्योर क्लस्टर्स में से मानेंगे. वो 10 लोग, दे हैव गॉन आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू दोज पैनल्स, दे हैव डन देयर रिसर्च एंड दे हैव कम टू मी हाउ वी कैन इंटीग्रेट पॉलिएस्टर T2T रिसाइकलिंग. सो इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट कि आप लोगों को बैठ के कैसे इंस्पायर कर सकते हो, कैसे उनको सक्सेस स्टोरी सुना सकते हो. दे विल अडॉप्ट देमसेल्व्स.
Absolutely true. Because like an example, if you are talking for the program and project point of view, the first step is going for the capacity building, awareness programs. Now we are looking for the ground implementations, because as you know, the PM vision is looking for the ground implementation, which we need to focus on the green energy. Now, right now is the energy crisis. Even I think you know the COP27. Prime Minister Sir is already announced. We will try to look for the coal, even what we call as in a 2070. Coal ko bahar karna hai. Now 2030 will meet that 500 gigawatt. Now, as in a solar point of view, you can try to see 200 plus the solar photovoltaic which they already installed. And that is the vision. So we need to focus more on the energy. If we are talking for energy, everything is come under the energy. If we are talking for the innovations, everything is come under the innovation. But as concerned with the cluster approach, we will try to work together and find out the way where we can put as in a knowledge sharing point of view. Thank you, Pravinder. Thank you, sir. So even I'm not saying last and not least like that, but Naveen Bhai, you have a much more experience, and that is the way you see the audience point of view. I am very thankful to CMI, and that is the way the day before yesterday I report to the Unido headquarters. Why I am coming to CMI, that is the way, this is the platform we need to share the knowledge to not for the manufacturer supplied, even in the brand also. And that is the way the lots of successful case study which they already implemented in India. Naveen Bhai, can you just share something idea of how you work as in a SU.RE point of view, or maybe the UNRC or Unido, because your involvement to like an example of the student session after the post-lunch, that is very, very fantastic. So please share your experience with especially focus on the apparel and textile sectors.
See, basically when we are talking about clusters, so there is a big opportunity in area like Bhiwandi, where you have lot of industries which are basically under a textile park. Now, what is a textile park which is near a big metropolitan city? The advantages are that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who can invest, and suppose there is 100 acres where there are 1,000 factories in that one particular textile park. It becomes very, very easy to implement that the compliances, water treatment plant, or basically solar energy. So there are a lot of things which can be easily done in near the cities, because now the nomenclature of Indian garmenting is that we don't have factories, big factories like Bangladesh. There are not there will be around say 100 machines to 500 machine factories in India. That's the norm. And for 100, 200, 500 machine factory, people will not go to Baramati. They will not go to, all those faraway places, Amravati and all those places. So here there is an opportunity. The buildings, fire, and water treatment plant, everything can be done under one roof, all the compliances. And I would like to take this opportunity and request Unido and Textile Committee, please come on board. We have this opportunity because we have already spoken to some of the property guys there who are owning apparel city parks. And there's a big opportunity where you can see fantastic results like China in the short run.
Definitely, because Bhiwandi is our cluster. Definitely, we will try to support. Without your support, it is very difficult to implement the activities. And definitely, the Textile Committee, Ministry of Textile, and the Unido will come forward to support.
See, micro clusters can be easily developed near the cities where you can save a lot of carbon footprint. Suppose if we bring India and international things to one particular cluster. Suppose I take a small example of ethnic cluster. Now, ethnic cluster, if fabric from Surat or other Jaipur or other places, we have places where the library is available. There is an incubation center where there are AI-based softwares which can make sampling. So there also we can save carbon footprints. Same way, it can be scaled up for production. So travel, transportation, lot of things can be saved in one particular cluster.
Absolutely true. And I just update to you a few points, because as you know, the project is coming very soon, like that Unido program point of view. We have a total funding support of close to the 50 or 52 million USD. And if we are talking for the JEF, we have 8 million USD for the 8 clusters. So out of the 8 clusters, we need to target 400 MSMEs. And Bhiwandi is a NHL Karanji in Maharashtra. Will definitely support. And in addition to that, Tripur will cover all the 4 regions in 8 clusters. And I'm very happy if any industries, any textile industries manufacturer, they can try to think about how we will try to adopt the technology. We are ready to support using the CMAI platform. Second point is very important as the roadmap, because Unido is working or develop such a good roadmap as in a technology innovation roadmap, which you understand the technology point of view. Because as you know, as a one common platform, you can see all the information available, and you can reach to the Textile Committee, because Mumbai is very close. Textile Committee is in Mumbai, and you can approach to the Textile Committee, as well as the Unido office is in Delhi also. You can also reach, and whatever you want to support as in a technical and financial, we are ready to support. Thank you for all speakers, participants, and I'm very happy to see after the post-lunch, see the gathering and everything. Thank you. And
Thank you. May I now invite on stage Mr. Anand Goleja, Chairman FAB Subcommittee, to felicitate our speakers. Dr. Pankaj Kumar. Dr. Tapan K. Raut. Mr. Parvinder Kadian. Ms. Tanmeet Thukral. Kainani, Mr. Somatish Banerjee, Mr. Saket Kulkarni, can we have a group picture?